Jake Brukhman has been at the forefront of investing in frontier technologies for over a decade as the CEO and founder of CoinFund. He joins this special edition of Markets Daily to share his unique perspective on where the next phase of crypto innovation and capital is headed. Jake, welcome.
Hi, Jen. Great to be here. Good to see you again.
Yeah, great to have you on the show again. I know that you were a judge at the Consensus Pitchfest. So tell me a little bit about what was going on there. What kind of projects did you see folks pitching?
Awesome. Yeah, there were 3 judges, me and Kelly from Arrington and Mickey from MetaLayer. And we had about 7 companies present to us for 3 minutes. I would say the judges at the end all agreed that there were 2 that really made it out to the forefront there. One was a great pitch from Niftmint, Jonathan Blanco, and one was Chain Patrol, which is a security startup that was already starting to generate millions of dollars of revenue, making crypto safe.
You see a lot of pitches. What is a common mistake or misstep you see startup founders making when they pitch VCs?
I think especially at a pitch competition, what really matters is presentation. You know, everyone's looking at the founder and thinking about what does the team look like? You know, is the presentation well spoken? Is it neat? Is everyone understanding what the product is? So we had some mixed results today on that, and respectfully, you know, we're all constantly working to make our startups better, but a few of them definitely stood out.
So really focus on your founder story and presenting yourself before the project, because the project can always change, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, you know what I wanted to talk to you about today? I know that you are an investor in Worldcoin. You and I have spoken about that on this show before.
Yep.
And there was some big news 2 weeks ago. We heard that WLD is now available in the United States, a big development, especially what's been going on with that project. Talk to me about how you're looking at the project as an investor and what we can expect.
Absolutely. So CoinFund has been invested in World from the very beginning. We did that very first round, the end of 2020, early 2021. You know, this is a Sam Altman project, and of course, that's a big name now, and I think it's a very prescient idea. At the core of World is a biometric proof of personhood. It has a lot of applications in the world where AI has gotten really, really hard to distinguish from people online. But what I would say because we're at Consensus, which is a crypto event, I would say, you know, from a Web3 perspective, World is the greatest Web3 go-to-market, I think, of all time. 26 million registered users, 8 million monthly active users, and almost 2 million daily active users are today operating on an iPhone app, which is really easy to use, has one-click login, and works on Ethereum technology, on an Ethereum L2 built on Optimism. And I'll just say that, you know, Bitcoin as a network has about 106 million users and about 22 million MAUs, and I really think that, at least on those dimensions, with this US opening, World has an opportunity to overtake that and leave those numbers, honestly, in the dust. There were days last year when World was converting 1 million users a day. If we could do that for a quarter straight, we will overtake the number of Bitcoin users.
Well, okay, that's a bold statement, Jake. I want to talk a little bit about this go-to-market. There are a lot of folks here at Consensus who are thinking about go-to-market. They're wondering, how do I bring more users? How do I get this amount of users to my project? What do you think sticks out? How was World able to go-to-market in this way?
That's a great question. I think one of the ways that they've done it is they've had a global go-to-market. I think they're in something like 35 countries, and with the US, they're poised to double, if not more, like the attention on the project. But here's the funny thing. World Chain is a blockchain, and World has opened up 6 brick and mortar flagship retail stores. One of them is in Miami, where I live. And the fact that people can be walking in our Miami neighborhood, see something interesting, walk into a store, learn about World Chain, learn about World ID, you know, get verified on the app and earn some free cryptocurrency and try out a DeFi protocol in the app. That is an incredible progress from where we were 5 years ago or even 2 years ago in terms of getting mainstream users to use crypto. 2025 is really going to be one of the first years we're going to start to see real consumer adoption, and I think that World is at the forefront of bringing it to market.
Tell me a little bit about that in-store experience. That's kind of interesting. I have never walked into a storefront and learned about a crypto project, and like you said, maybe that is one of the secrets to unlocking the audience that we talk so much about.
It really makes the experience and the ideas real for people. The stores are very, very simple. They contain almost nothing except, a bunch of these orbs from World. You download an app on your phone, you scan a QR code in the World, and then it reads your biometrics, and boom, you have a blockchain account. You have an app store with DeFi apps and games that you can try out. And it's really night and day from the kind of, tough user experience that we've seen in the past.
The last thing I want to ask you about this is, you did mention that World launched in multiple different jurisdictions, multiple different countries, and there was some regulatory scrutiny when it comes to the project. How do you think the project, and how do you advise projects to move on from that and continue to build, continue to bring users into the project?
I mean, I think World has done an incredibly professional job moving throughout its different jurisdictions. One of the reasons that we're seeing the US launch only now is because they've been incredibly conservative and working with regulators to make it, a safe and compliant launch. The same is true for, I think, all the other jurisdictions that they're operating in. And countries have different questions about how this technology works. It's a new technology. It's a very advanced technology. There's many crypto, blockchain, zero-knowledge proof, privacy technologies at play in this device. And I think it's healthy that jurisdictions want to learn about it. But I think when they do, they will see that this is really the primary, most privacy-preserving biometric proof of personhood that's out there. It is extremely relevant, and it's driving Web3 adoption.
Jake, thanks so much for joining us at the desk here.
My pleasure.
We'll see you around the conference.
Thank you so much.
That was CoinFund CEO and founder, Jake Brukhman.